Okay, here we are back for round 6. This hand is not. I mean, I'm going to keep it, right? We're going to go history into history, and that's why we're here. But does have a pretty good amount of weakness because this is like a good standard hand. Modern, we might just get run over. If we're playing against any kind of fast combo deck, it's not good. If we're playing against a control deck, maybe even Tron, we could be okay depending how fast Tron goes. But like Jun's probably tough with this hand. Like I said, fast combo decks. Opponent mulliganing is good. But we'll see. A couple things that I should address. So we're gonna tap Godless Shrine here because we have nothing to play, and I want to at least pretend like we've got something to potentially do. So round 4 against Tron, the second to last turn, I definitely made a mistake where I was debating if I should play Storm, but I didn't want to tap out. I was kind of valuing the not tapping out, leaving up Disenchant, but that was just wrong because would have played Sword, would have plussed, it would have been lethal, and there's no instant speed interaction they would have had. So I think I was just stuck in the mentality of don't tap out. But if I would have killed them that turn, it didn't matter. They wouldn't have been able to draw again. So that was a mistake there. The other thing, the last round 5 against the Traverse Shadow deck, history was good there, and what I didn't do was kind of analyze what we've been trying to do is be a little more scientific about what if history was Spectral Procession or Start to Finish, which is what it's replacing in this build. Looking back, I think the history is probably better than those cards in those matchups because of the Liliana and because of a faster clock. The next turn would have killed the Death Shadow because our creatures would have been 4/3s. But that said, we should have compared in the moment. It would have been better. All right, so back to this game. Affinity, we needed to draw some sort of interaction there. Just like a Fatal Push or a Path right there would have been excellent. Because it is a creature matchup. It's a matchup where going history souls or something like that should be good. Depending what they play, we may have to do Lingering Souls first. But having nothing, I mean, it does look like they have a lot of dead cards, which is kind of nice. Like they get to activate Inkmoth right now. Oh, okay, Ravager. So yeah, like they don't have the best start. Now it's getting better that they had 2 creatures. I thought Overseer was going to be their only creature, but I may have to kill the Overseer if I draw a removal spell. Alright, well, Ghost Quarter's good. I won't get to activate it, but and Vault will be later. So Vault can gain us some life, so we know we can kind of hold off on that for a bit. The question now is, do we want a 2/2 or do we want 2 1/1 flyers? Igmoth's only going to be a 2/2. You could probably take some poison. I maybe even want to encourage taking some poison because we can always Ghost Quarter it later and it's not such a big deal. Signal Pest will be an X3 by next turn. It's all going to be too big for me, so I think I'm going to go history here. And then hopefully I can draw some interaction and then play history and then maybe go souls and flashback. We need to stop drawing lands basically. We need to draw some like removal spells because like discard spells now are going to be terrible as well. Yep. It's going to be rough. But like next turn we can double block the Ravager. And leave open Ghost Quarter. Am I dead? Yeah, I mean, I couldn't not play a 3-drop. Man, what if I had like Slaughter the Pact? That'd be such a blowout. Okay. Like I said, needed some kind of interaction. Opponent going for the overkill. Man, I wish I had Slaughter. I wish I had Slaughter packed in right now. All right. So I don't think there's any 4 drops that I care about. They're all 3 drops. I want to keep some amount of Thoughtseize on the play. Persecution's good. Stony Silence is good. Disenchant's good. Question here is whether Cast Out's too slow or not. I think Brutality's removal spell is good. I think Wrath is good. It's the only way we have to deal with a what's it called? I think we'll just cut Thoughtseizes. Bitter Blossom's good. Virtue. So I guess the questions here are, I think Bitter Blossom is just a better Gideon. It's just cheaper and it still makes tokens. Wrath's good, Gain Life's good, Threats here. Maybe Shave of Virtue. It's really good in the matchup, but it's kind of not necessary. So Halo on Ink Moth, although Ghost Quarter is good for that. I think maybe it's just Basilisk Collar. Or I'll just keep in the Thoughtseize. Etch Champion's the issue, but we have Wrath for that. We have Rune, and then we potentially could have Rune Halo for that. We have 6, 7, 8 removal spells. Zealous is kind of 9. 2 sweepers with the Zealous. Disenchant's removal spell. So we have plenty of interaction. And I think with 4, 5, 6, 11 threats, 4 Sorens, I think is plenty. I think Thoughtseize is probably okay. It's just such a bad late game pickup, but I would like to play first. Yep, hand's great. Consideration is whether I need to leave open path or Fatal Push on turn 1, or if I just want to play my tapped Goblet Shrine and then figure it out later. I can always shock myself to play Souls on turn 3, so that's fine. We'll know what we want to do at that point. So I can still cast Brutality on 2. Okay. Okay, there's our opponent. No play. Okay. So going Bitter Blossom now, I can deal with whatever they're doing later. Don't need to shock myself yet. Noteworthy that Brutality works through the Welding Jar. Obviously Fatal Push does not, but alright, so they have tons of artifacts anyway. We're not going to get them off Metalcraft. This is just going to be an issue until Or I guess welding jar can regenerate it, huh? That's a problem. So I can brutality and look at their hand potentially. With the vault, we might be able to erase it. It's just a matter of They wouldn't have any instants or sorceries, I don't think. So I'm going to want to try to force them to use their welding jar sooner. I'm just going to do this. We'll see if they'll commit. With the flashback souls and a bitter blossom, I don't think I mind if I lose the front half of lingering souls. To the wrath. But there are a lot of things, scary things like a cranial plating on S champion. Like I don't have any answers for that. Until I find an answer or I make them use their welding jar, basically. Oh man, interesting. Karn. The Karn Daddy. Alright, so what can I force them to use? I can kill Karn if I go. Definitely need to kill Karn. In which I'm going to need to kill the Ornithopter first. I can, and then maybe leave open push to try to kill the construct, and that might force him to use the welding jar. We'll try that. The other option is if I push the Ornithopter now, nah, they'll regenerate. If they regenerate, I can still kill Karn, but they have no reason to do that, and then I have no answer for the construct, so. I'm glad I played a Lingering Souls there. Now I will get to kill Karn, which that's something that would bring him back from a wrath. So now it's basically kill Karn, push the construct, hope they regenerate, chump block it, or no, it'll remove it from combat. So that's good. So I won't even need a chump block. And then wrath the next turn. With an active Bitter Blossom and Lingering Souls in the graveyard. Okay. Would like to pay 2 life. Second Welging Jar would get me. I guess Counterspell would get me, but sure. That's a bummer. Well, it's only 2 a turn, so I'm not totally dead yet. Maybe they meant to regenerate. I guess I could start racing with Vault. Or start racing with Soren. Okay. Should be good here. It'll be hard for them to kill Soren. Now, gaining enough life that the equipment's not so scary. The cranial plating's not so scary. Okay. So Welding Jar is a problem. But Stony Silence deals with it. Disenchants deal with it. Can't name the so Basilisk Car on the constructs is interesting, but I have so much removal for those that I think it's a huge deal. But I might on the draw lose a Brutality, go up a Ruined Halo for Etch Champion, and I'll call it a day. Again, a matchup where the we saw that game that Virtue wouldn't have done that much. Like, yeah, it's a faster clock, but the Soren life gain is more important. We can usually block if we need to. Is Virtue alright? Well, on the backs of Inquisition and Disenchant and then Ghost Quarter, I think I'm going to keep this. Ghost Quarter is very real as a kind of a kill spell, since a lot of their threats are their lands. And then any token maker is very, very good with the Virtue. So even though I was not bad mouthing Virtue, I don't think we need multiple. So like multiple Virtues is not good because it's not a threat, and really what I'm looking for now is threats. Sure. All right, well, holy moly. Yeah, that's the problem. If I could, I'd kill the Signal Pest because I might just lose to this. Okay, well, I was going to lose to that for sure at some point, so. Cranial Plating's what, 2 and then 1? So cheaper than Karn. So I'm going to take 4 now, then I can disenchant. Don't need to show them the Ghost Quarter yet. And yeah, I'm going to stick to the plan. I'm going to disenchant Signal Pest. And give me time for Bitter Blossom. For Bitter Blossom and Virtues to win me the game. I'll do that now. And now, ooh, that's interesting. So I can do that next turn. Might hit the Ink Moth right now. So they can't activate and regenerate. Island's interesting. Obviously, I didn't consider that. I couldn't Wrath next turn because I used the Ghost Quarter, but that's fine. And then next turn, I can decide what to do. At least I'll be able to pressure the Karn. Alright, drawing lands is both good and bad, obviously. I don't think they would have Blood Moon, given they got an island. But I guess it's better safe than sorry. Alright, let's see if I can get away with not fetching another land. Alright, the Karn Daddies. Karn Daddy's tough. I'm kind of putting them in the abyss right now, though. If I Wrath, they keep the construct, which would be a 1/1. Here they have to chump block twice, which makes the construct smaller. So I think we're okay either way. We can kind of keep the Wrath as a safety valve. Yep. So next turn they have to plus. They'll get a card. If I double block, then I can't kill Karn because they'll block with the Vault Scourge. If I chump, I guess I could kill Karn and then Wrath. It's probably pretty good. And then they keep a 1/1 2/2 3/3 construct. They can attack with Ink Moth. All right. I'll have to kill the Karn the following turn. Oh yeah, I guess they could still chump with Ink Moth Nexus, so it doesn't matter. We will need to draw something though. Wow, that was a huge mistake. I'm an idiot. Hopefully you guys watching this saw this and can tell me how terrible of a play that was. Might need a Wrath here. Alright, well now I'm definitely gonna Wrath. So hit Ink Moth is just a 1/1. But I guess I may as well do it in combat. Save myself a point. Because it does get removed from combat. Okay. Well, it is a race here. One that I should be able to win before I lose to my own Bitter Blossom, but I will Ghost Core to the Blink Moth if they activate. Also, glad I never cracked that fetch land, because the 1 life could really matter. So notable that that double block didn't come back to haunt me anyway, because what I would have done if I had had 2 Fairy Rogues that could attack the previous turn, I still would have pointed them both at Karn, because they had a blocker, and they would have still not blocked. Karn would have died. I still would have Wrath, and then would have started over. So in the end, it didn't matter, but definitely could have. I say I don't know if I have time to attack Karn, but I think I need to make time. Because another construct is pretty bad for me. And I'm using my dual lands for Stony Silence in the very off chance of Blood Moon. Not that I have anything to cast, but it kind of like leaves it open that I could have a removal spell. Okay, can't do anything with that. So I can chump, put him down to 4, or I can double block, put him down to 7. I can always double block later. So this time, obviously, they could activate Blink Moth, but I can Ghost Core to the Blink Moth. And yada yada. But I think I just need to get them dead as soon as possible. Okay, relevant that Double Virtue was better this game than I would have thought. But that's because we did have the Bitter Blossom, and they weren't able to deal with the Bitter Blossom. Okay, draw 2. I mean, pretty much F6'd. I can block, and that's the only thing I can do. Yep. And I'd have to single block so that I could kill them next turn. So history there over another spell probably would not have been as good. Would have had a 4/4 ground creature over some flyers or 2 different creatures or whatever. So just food for thought since we're testing it out. All right. Well, clawing our way back up to 4 and 2. I don't know if there's 7 or 8 rounds, but I guess we'll find out. 132 players is probably 8 rounds. Not sure. All right. We're getting there slowly.